What a game that was. I just rushed on stream. Didn't take too long on the thumbnail. Didn't take too long on preparing. All right, let's pull up ESPN. What a game that was. Wow, 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 wow. Have a lot to say. You know, I said I really hope this game is good. I really hope Bears-Niners is fun, because if it's not, this week's been kind of a snooze. And sure enough, you ask, it delivers. There you go. I'm not even making sense right now. I'm excited. I'm happy. There's no music. Who needs it? Hold on. Let me change that, actually. Here we go. Okay. Is my headset dead? There's a chance. There's a chance. Who cares? Who cares? We had a great game. My headset might be broken. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, fellas, what a game it was. I'll do some analysis really quick. We got Otis. What's up, man? If Puka doesn't put on, I'm gonna be fantasy champion. Let's go. That's awesome. Hell yeah, man. Don't know why. Whatever, honestly. But yeah, sorry. I don't know why my headphones aren't working. It's really bothering me. Camera's not on, potato chip. What do you mean camera's not on? Am I like messed up here? What's not working here? But anyways, what a game that was. I'm like concerned now. Now I gotta pull up my stream and see what's going on. The one time I don't do that. Hold the fort. Let's see what's going on here. My PC's not working with me today. I got on too quick. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we're good. Don't know why the chat's not working, but that's fine. We'll live. Never mind, my YouTube glitched. All right, Uncreative, you tricked me. Anyways, all right, let's talk about this game. I can't hear sound. Who cares? All right, this might have been one of my favorite games of the year. Probably, for sure, was one of my favorites of the year. But this was such a great game. I needed to get on immediately. Okay, a few things. You read the title. I was wrong about Brock, okay? I think I was. Okay, this guy's pretty good. Pretty good. Your camera's not working. Try refreshing the stream. I don't know what the hell's happening, but yeah, it looks good on my feed, so I'm not sure. Try refreshing. It may have just been like a bug when you enter. But anyways, I'm gonna keep moving forward. If it keeps glitching, let me know. Caleb Williams had some great throws, but at the end of the day, he missed a couple big passes. He really did. He had, it wasn't Zacchaeus, it was someone else, number 12. Duvernay. He had Duvernay going underneath. That was the one target. He had Duvernay wide open, and Caleb, to be fair, rushed under pressure. He rolled out, he threw it, and it didn't get there. He missed the pass, and that was a shame. Today was the day of quarterbacks missing passes. However, that's not to distract from the fact that a lot of players had great games. Who had great games? Caleb Williams played great. DeAndre Swift scored when he needed to. Luther Burden, breakout game. Oh my gosh, he's going to be a must-target guy in fantasy next year. Okay, and that's talking about the losing team. How about Brock Purdy and the Niners? Brock Purdy was a part of 5 touchdowns, 1 pick 6. So you know, if you really want to count it, that counts 6. Bears defense needs to step up. Agreed. But this felt like a coaching masterclass. Probably going to be a better game than the Super Bowl. Not going to lie. I'm hoping this jinxes it. Seriously, if we could get an 80-point scored Super Bowl, that would be amazing. That would be awesome, because this was the exact kind of game of football I like watching. There were, what was it, 28? Gosh, man. The Niners scored 28 points in the first half. That's just, and then the Bears scored 21. I don't know why I was doing it like that. Yeah, 28, 20, 21 in the first half. What? That's crazy. Not in this NFL. Not in the era of the 2 high safety. We were supposed to ban that. And now we got Brock Purdy, who looks like he's for real, which I've never said in my life. Okay, I'm surprised Brock Purdy's this high. Okay, I have been a Brock Purdy hater ever since he started starting games for the Niners. I thought they're going to overpay him. They're going to ruin their team. Their Super Bowl window is going to close. And sure enough, Brock Purdy made the plays he needed to today. Were the wide receivers he threw to wide open? Of course. Is most of the Niners' success mostly scheme? Yeah. But that's not to distract from the fact that Brock Purdy won. He has now won. He's been winning games. Brock took T-Law's place of scoring 10 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Exactly. He is putting on. Okay, he came back from turf toe. He didn't look great. It took him a little bit to find his footing. And now he is I don't want to say top tier passer, or even, I mean, maybe elite. Honestly, this was the kind of game that made him elite. The Bears defense does need to step up, okay? I'm not going to sit here and act like the Bears defense played great. However, there was a big pick 6. But outside of that, this was an offensive day. And damn it, we needed it. We really needed it, especially coming off the 13-12 slog that was Eagles-Bills. Especially coming after the just absurd tank bowl that was Giants-Raiders. Especially coming off a just brutal day of Christmas football. Especially coming off a Saturday night game that featured 2 backup quarterbacks. quarterbacks. We saw Shedeur Sanders, Brady Cook, Aaron Rodgers all play today. Like, come on. I don't know why I threw Aaron Rodgers in there, but Shedeur, Brady Cook, Quinn Ewers, man. Like, Cardinals, Brissett's playing like a backup. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on today. Like, Quinn Ewers won a game of football. My favorite type of game, no defense. Exactly. It's easy to be, oh, that's a casual way to look at it. Oh, casual fans just like points. Yeah, I like looking at the X's and O's. This game was sick. Okay, there was a touchdown, and there were so many touchdowns, it's going to be tough to talk about them. I want to go through my notes. Tyler Shuck might win Rookie of the Year. I think he should. Let's go. And also, I have a Hinge update, funny enough. But, so tonight, it's been a good night. But let me say this. What was I going to pull up? My notes. I took notes. You guys know it's for real when I took notes. Okay, couple things. I got to email myself a picture really quick because this is how I knew this game was going to be great. It had nothing to do with on the field stuff, by the way. Once this happened, I said, okay, yeah, this game's got the sauce. This game not only was just epic as a game, but it had so many just like funny moments. Like Chris Collinsworth. He referenced Patrick Mahomes on one of Caleb Williams' touchdown passes, and he was like, oh, I'm sure everyone's going to say I'm talking about Mahomes. And then Mike Tirico was cracking up. He was like, you're steering into the skid. And then Chris Collinsworth looks straight into the camera and says, yeah, I like memes. Chris Collinsworth. He said, I like memes to Mike Tirico on the Sunday Night Football crew. Usually, I'd think that's a cornball move. If it was Troy Aikman that did that, I'd be like, yuck. I don't want to hear about it, Troy Aikman. But when it's Chris Collinsworth, PFF man, why not? Okay, another thing. Let me, hold on. Golly. Okay, hold on. Oh, damn it. All right, we're just gonna do it like this. All right, yeah, this is perfect. Here we go. This also, I got this picture of Ben Johnson looking at the camera that I thought was hilarious. I needed to show this. I thought this was so funny. Like, he's just straight into the lens. I thought this was hilarious. I should have made this the thumbnail. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, as a Vikings fan, Caleb's the hardest QB to sack. He is. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to hit every pass when he's outside of the pocket, but he doesn't need to because he was fun to watch. Brock Purdy did that little loop-de-loop spin. This is not good at football analysis, but Brock Purdy does that loop-de-loop thing, and then he finds Jake Tonjes in the end zone. Or no, it was Juszczyk. He finds Juszczyk in the end zone, and then Juszczyk catches it and spikes the ball. A little premature of a spike, but I'm glad they kept it as a touchdown. And that was the play when I realized Brock Purdy is good. And that's not something I wanted to admit. That's not something that I came on here expecting to talk about. I thought the game was going to be fun. I didn't think there was going to be 80 points scored. I didn't think it was going to be one of my favorite games of the year. And the funny thing is, the Bears have put together like 3 or 4 of my favorite games of the year. So man, I'll tell you, if I had to pick a team that I would have rather seen win this game, I would have picked Chicago. But tonight was a night for football fans everywhere. All the football fans that sat through all the nonsense games we had this week. There were like 2 games that were worth watching this week. Not even Bucks Dolphins. This is deceptively close. The Dolphins held the lead the whole time. Okay, you can go through any game, and there's a major caveat. Cardinals Bengals, why even bother? Steelers Browns, I mean, geez. The Steelers scored in 1 quarter. They scored 6 points. Didn't even get in the end zone once. Saints Titans was actually pretty fun. Jags Colts, again, Jags came back. But again, watching the Colts play offenses makes me want to tear my eyes out. Bucks Dolphins happened, but come on, Quinn Ewers beating an ice-cold Bucks team. I'm talking too fast. Jets Patriots also belt to ass. Okay. Seahawks Panthers was a letdown. Eagles Bills was a defensive slugfest, which do with that what you will. And then Niners Bears just from out of nowhere. Look at how much of an outlier this looks. Come on. Like, look at this. People are fired up. Christian McCaffrey was gassed out at the end of it, but it didn't matter. The Niners overcame, and that game came down to the last play. I didn't even talk about the ending. Caleb Williams had a shot at the end zone last play of the game, but the Niners, the defense stepped up when it mattered most. They had one play. They had one play to stop them, and they did it. Bend, don't break. Executed to perfection. Walk off stop. Is this not the Eagle fan admission? Wait, is this not Eagle fan admission? The confession in response to my question. What happened? Brock Purdy legit looked like 2022 Mahomes. He looked great. He did. I'm sorry I'm missing some chats. We got Muhammad here, who's our Eagles fan, Blake, and he actually said he's got some mixed opinions on today's game. But hey, you know what? We'll get to that later. Breathe, Hunter, breathe. Seriously, come on. So are you bandwagoning to the 49ers? I am not. All right, I'm blue till I die. We're 1-0 this week. The Giants are 1-0 this week. Come on. All right, so you can't complain about that. However, this game was awesome. And it's games like this that make you remember why we love the game. It's not just about scoring. It's about the story of it, the meaning. Both offenses were playing at their absolute limit. And honestly, it was just great to see. It was like watching a coaching chess match between Kyle Shanahan and Ben Johnson going back and forth. Sick play calls. The hook and ladder is back. We saw it a couple times today. And there's Chris. We got Chris Brown here. Loved how I call the Bengals final 6 games perfect. I want to jump. Chris, I'm glad you're still here. Man, the Bengals haven't had a strong finish, but I'm glad they won a couple of games. Look, they look strong. Joe Burrow will probably stay. He won't retire. That's a win. Brock Purdy. I'm talking to Hey Hunter. We don't care about you. Come on. Come on now. Hey, I thought you were an Eagles fan. I'm not getting into this. This game sucks because my parlay didn't hit. There it is. There it is. Fair enough. Drop a like if you enjoyed this game, and if you didn't, still like it anyway because this is a good stream. Damn it. Chris is not happy with the way the season ended, but I am happy with the day we had today. I'm glad with the game we had tonight. I'm stepping all over my words. I couldn't prepare for this stream. I'm too damn excited. It's games like this, man. It's games like this. First note I put, this game is sick. That was the first note I put. And I'll say this. This is a big kind of macro take of the whole game. We're finishing 7-10 with another mid pick. You did call it. You did call that. I remember that. Okay, so tonight felt like, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, tonight felt like a turn of the tide. Okay, my headset disconnected. It wasn't even on. Tonight felt like a turn of the tide with mobile quarterbacks in specific. Because you have Brock Purdy and Caleb Williams who are specifically putting on because they're being able to move out of the pocket, because they're mobile, because they can... Finally, my headset starts working. That's what I was been messing with. That's why I'm off. Moving out of the pocket, rolling out. And they're making plays with their legs. Brock Purdy ran for 2 touchdowns. Caleb Williams only ran for 18 yards, but it felt a lot more because he rolled out of the pocket so frequently. Caleb Williams didn't get sacked once. Brock Purdy got sacked 1 time, and that's not because both defenses weren't blitzing. And the defensive coordinators were trying too. You know, Dennis Allen and the other fella, how am I blanking on his name? Bob Saleh were angry. They wanted their defense to be better. Those are not bad defensive coordinators, okay? And they tried different looks, but there was a Caleb touchdown. I don't even remember who scored it because again, there were so many plays that were just awesome. I want to say it was Burden's touchdown, but it was a flag route to the corner, and you could just see the perfect route execution right in the soft spot of the zone. Yeah, he was wide open. Yeah, it wasn't the most impressive throw ever, but it got there, and it was a perfectly drawn up play. This was 2 quality football teams going at it. This really felt like an 11-4 team playing an 11-4 team, and it felt there's been so much wacky shit happening in the NFL this year, not to swear, but there's been so much wacky stuff happening. It's nice to watch 2 good teams just compete with each other. This is a Chicago team that almost lost to the Giants. Okay, this is like the Niners also, you know, there was a minute there where I thought the Giants could have beat the Niners. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The point is that there's been too much nonsense going on this year. I'm happy we got a really good game. Oh boy. Burden did steal 26 ankles on 1 catch and run. Luther Burden, Collinsworth talked about it all night because Luther Burden is like PFF's darling. But Collinsworth talked about Luther Burden. Luther Burden looked great. He looked explosive. He was moving after the catch. He was running routes tight. And other than that 1 drop at the end, he was catching everything. It's like it's a funsy. Shador could be Brock Purdy. That could be a thing. He could be. Chris is a rocket tourney. Good luck tomorrow, Chris. Left Xavier McKinney, Saquon Barkley, Dan Jones. You're about to lose start 2. What are we talking about here? Both my teams win in absolute thrillers. Life is good. I'll take it, Meep. Okay, yeah. The thing next to the chat, drop a hot take. So here's mine. The Bears will get a first rounded by whatever 6 seed they end up playing. I'm glad someone did that. Yeah, thank you. I like putting a little message. I'm glad. Yeah, Bears will get first rounded by whatever 6 seed they end up playing. Well, that's a bummer. Well, okay, so if we look at the standings, the Bears would be what, the 5, right? The Bears are they're the 2 at the moment. So they'd end up playing the 7 seed, which would be the Packers. We just saw them beat the Packers. And now they're going to be in Chicago. Look, they could lose that game, but I think they'll win. I do. And that's pretty much locked in, isn't it? Yeah, well, unless they drop down to the 3 seed, in which case they'll play the 6 seed Rams, which could get a little hazy. That might be a tough one for the Bears, but I think it's a winnable game. Purdy turned to Josh Allen tonight. Yes, he did. I'm glad everybody's giving Purdy his flowers. Stream's called if I was wrong about Brock, and I was, man. Burton stole 26 ankles on one catch and run. 9 almost swept the Bears, too. If only Ivan Pace didn't try to play hero ball on a kickoff return. Exactly. Yeah, that's a much better example. The Bears lost to the Vikings. Like, hot take, Bills ain't winning the Super Bowl. Broncos go out in the first. Pats aren't getting that far. Bears go to the NFC Championship. Eagles win the Super Bowl. Okay, so just disregard all, disregard all things that have changed in the NFL this year. Other than the Bills not going to the Super Bowl or not winning the Super Bowl. They'll play a 7-seed dumbass. Yeah, and that 7 seed will be it'll be the be the Packers. What are we talking about? I respect the rant here, Hunter. I'm with you, man. I love seeing a good ass game. This is the exact type of game we need going forward to the playoffs to send a bonus. Exactly. This is what I was talking about earlier. When you're into the game, you don't care about the logos on the helmets. You just care about what's happening, the score, and just the X's and O's. You know, you drop the players and you just see just people running on a field. To remove the agenda. Remove the identities. Remove what you thought about the Chicago Bears. Forget everything you thought you knew about the San Francisco 49ers. This is a good team, and I haven't been saying that much this year because I've never believed it. I thought they were too injured. I thought they were the Chargers of the NFC, and they proved me wrong tonight, and specifically, Brock Purdy proved me wrong tonight. Because the Niners quarterback knows how to win big games. Niners quarterback doesn't make excuses. Can't say the same about Justin Herbert. Whether you're the 6th pick or the last pick, it's all up here. And Brock Purdy's getting jiggy with it. Bears defense sucks. They just get turnovers. Purdy's still mid. Dart lit up the Bears defense too. That's a good point. Look, these weren't the strongest defenses in history, okay? The Niners are beat up, and the Bears haven't had a strong defense all year. That being said, I thought both quarterbacks played very well, other than that last miss by Caleb Williams. Not on the last play, but when he had Duvernay underneath, that pissed me off. I really wanted him to get that. Loveland had a bad drop as well, but, you know, that's few and far between. Not to get into catch percentage again, but, you know. I had fun with that one, though. Can Hawks slow down the Niners offense? I think so. They already have, but again, that was a while ago. Do the Niners play the Seahawks next week? I believe they do. That's perfect. And this is already scheduled. The schedule has come out, and this one's going to be on ESPN. Let's see. I love it. So schedule dropped today. Okay. More Saturday football. Okay. I guess. Well, the games that I thought were going to be flexed to Sunday night just got flexed to Saturday in general. So more Saturday football. So for the 3rd week in a row, we got football. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Football on Saturday, I guess. And I had a feeling Steelers-Ravens is going to be the Sunday night game. Good. That's what I want to watch. Steelers-Ravens. I'm sure that game's going to be a total snooze. But whatever. The primetime games will be fun. The standalone games will be fun, I should say. No Thursday, just Saturday and Sunday. So, I don't know. Niners Seahawks for the number 1 seed. Biggest game of the regular season. Yes, on a Saturday night. Yeah, I don't know about that, but sure. Shannon carrying the Niners, and they'll be one and done in the playoffs. They definitely are. Nickel 999. What's up, sir? More date stories and icebergs, or we actually can talk football? Well, you came at the right time. We're talking football right now. This is the schedule for week 18. I do have a dating update, but we'll get into that at the end. We got plenty of stuff to talk about. The noon slate looking dominant. Yeah. The noon slate. That's just weird for me to hear. Yeah, man, there is not a game that matters in the first window of games. Not a single game that matters. Man, but I will say, yeah, the later slate looks pretty solid. We got a lot of games at 125. I like when the NFL gets wild with it. Throw some curveballs. I'm the guy that complains about Saturday football, but I like when the NFL gets wild with it. All right. So, you know what? If we're not going to have a Thursday game, Saturday, so be it. But what's up, Nickel 9? Glad to hear you. I personally like Saturday football. I wouldn't mind a weekend of football Friday, Saturday, Sunday rather than the TNF. I don't know if they'll ever do Friday. Friday is high school, man. Friday is high school football day. I understand why they're doing Saturday because college is like, you know, in a bit of a hiatus at the moment because that happens every year. But I get it. It's just the competition of it. Not that the NFL can't beat anything, like beat any sports league or any sports entity. But what I will say is if they're going to put games on Christmas, if they're going to put games on Saturdays, if they're going to put games stretching out the week, make them good. And thankfully, these two games are good. And I'm excited to see them both. Hopefully, they're close, contested affairs. Hopefully, like one of the Panthers and the Bucks shows up to look halfway good. Okay? Hopefully one, like, that's all we need. Hopefully one of them looks good. That's all I ask for. And as far as Seahawks Niners go, man, I think that's going to be a great game. Sam Darnold revenge game. if the Niners defense can just get in Darnold's face, because that's the thing. It's easy to say, oh, the Niners defense isn't that great. Caleb Williams, whatever. Caleb Williams can get sacked. Or Caleb Williams is much tougher to sack than Sam Darnold. So you have C-Dub who can roll right, and you have Sam Darnold who just can't do that. I don't know why I just repeated myself, basically. But the point is that Caleb Williams is a lot tougher to get down than Sam Darnold. So it's a lot easier to scheme against Sammy. All you got to do is, get to him, send some pressure. Granted, Seahawks offensive line is pretty good. But if you can get to Sam Darnold, Niners can compete and very well end up with the 1 seed in the NFC, which is crazy. The road to the Super Bowl could go through San Francisco, which is wild because the Super Bowl is in San Francisco. Do you guys see what's going on here? Put some respect on my commander's name. Here's Greg. No, I'm not doing it. I won't do it. New members, I think. Yeah, what's up, guys? Drop a like. I'm glad I live on the West Coast because waiting until noon feels weird to me for football. Yeah, no, I prefer West Coast times, but teach throw it. I'm sure it's weird seeing all this 10 o'clock and 1:25, but that's how we do. That's how we be around here. Oh, man. But yeah, so I'm fired up. Brock Purdy's the man. I don't even care. Like, for one night, just one night, I want to take off my Stephen A. Smith ESPN helmet about, oh, I said he was bad and I was right, or, well, he didn't play that great. I don't want to take anything away from Brock Purdy. This is his night on Sunday Night Football in a must-win game. He delivered. McCaffrey did great. McCaffrey carried. By the end of it, McCaffrey was dead gassed. But Brock Purdy sealed the deal. That's why you're 0-4 against the Sanders. I believe Otis. Respect the Commanders for what? Now, Hunters, that's a team whose Super Bowl window is closed. That I'll agree with. The winning season window is closed for the Commanders. Oh man, I love this inside joke we got going. Thomas Morstead's a crackhead, by the way. I wanted to say that. Thomas Morstead sprints down to give the hands team a high five every time he punts it, which I think is hilarious, especially considering he's so old. I think he's, for a football player, he's in his 40s, I think, right? You know what I mean? He's old. Like, a lot of Thomases that come up before Thomas Morstead. He's 39. I was wrong by a year. 39, born in 86. So, yeah, former Saint Thomas Morstead. ESPN analysts never changed their take. They just tear down people you don't like. Yeah, exactly. They're like, well, here's the thing. Let's not forget about context. Here's a thing I made up. No, tonight we're just enjoying good football because, boy, we needed it. Man, we needed a good game. I was worried that Jarv was right about this season being a total snooze. Finally, some good food. Yeah, that's basically all the notes I had. Niners, well, one more thing. Niners had a really weird almost 12 men on the field penalty where a player was like gassed and wanted to sub out but didn't get off the field because he was gassed. So the Niners couldn't figure out who to send on or not. They had 13 players on the field at one point. They just called a timeout. Ended up working out okay for him, but I thought that was a weird moment nonetheless. And yeah, I'd say that's the crux of it. I didn't really get to articulate this take like I wanted to. I made a video earlier with the death of the pocket passer, and I said that kind of trying to jump the gun a little bit, trying to be ahead of the curve, set the narrative. Tonight's the night I felt like that changed. Tonight's the night I felt like you need to be able to roll out of the pocket in order to win in the NFL today. Jackson Dart won on his legs. Believe me, the Giants probably would have beat the Raiders regardless. The Raiders tried to lose, but Jackson Dart ran in, I want to say 2 touchdowns. I'm almost certain he ran in 2. He did. He ran in 2 touchdowns. Brock Purdy ran in 2 touchdowns. Caleb Williams flushed out of the pocket. This is the next generation of QBs. Lamar Jackson can't move as well because he's beat up, and that's why the Ravens aren't as good. There are many reasons, but that definitely isn't helping. Okay, Jared Goff can't move. Jared Goff moves like his tied to cinder blocks, man. He is so slow. Oh my God. And that's why he's losing to Brosmer on Christmas Day. Okay? It's not a necessary. You don't have to have Lamar Jackson, but they have to be able to move. Tyler Shuck can move. I didn't know Tyler Shuck had some legs underneath him. He can move. Okay? And you look at the top guys in this hill, it's like, other than Stafford, who's just like, the last remaining guy from the old era of QBs that we all know and love, Matt Stafford, who just has a cannon of an arm that's getting him by. Outside of him, all of those quarterbacks can at least kind of move. Kind of. A little bit. And I think that's sweet. So, Lamar can still move, he just doesn't want to anymore. There you go. That's exactly, there you go, exactly. He doesn't even want to play anymore, it feels like. 10 a.m. football would wake me up before noon. Noon's when football starts for me. Hey. We have so many Mander fans. We agree Muhammad just needs to be the online franchise representative. We do have a lot of Mander fans. You think you could beat Jared in a 40? Do I think I could beat Jared in a 40, though? What was Jared's 40? I'm like really not that fast. So I think a like relatively fast 23-year-old could, but let's see. Jared Goff 40 time 482. Okay, I don't think I could beat Jared Goff. When was this? Okay, why did I click on this website? When did he run the 40? 482, right? I don't know what year he got drafted. Let's see. He got drafted in God, come on, dude. Obviously, he got drafted by the Los Angeles St. Louis Rams. Born in 94. Yeah, but when was he drafted? Come on, 2016. And he is age. I'm really doing this a difficult way. This is so funny. Me trying to figure out how many years Jared Goff's been in the league. I'm just gonna do this. Oh my god. So Jared Goff ran like a 4.82. He ran a 4.82, was it? Yeah, and he is now 31. So he has been in the league for 9 seasons. Shout out 9. So he was 22 when he did that. I think I could beat Jared Goff. I think I could beat Jared Goff in a 40. Took a minute, but I think I could beat Jared Goff in a 40. I think I could beat today Jared Goff in a 40. Like, again, my running form sucks. Give me a month to train, and then I'm in. I could def beat Jared in a 40 in his current state. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know why that's such like a flex. Like Jared Goff, I mean, he's a professional athlete, but yeah, I'm 8 years is younger. Looks like my grandpa doing anything but online gambling. He is slow, man. His pads weigh you down. He is slow. Okay, 6'4", 217. I'm glad the Lions play on Thanksgiving because, you know, Jared could afford to miss a meal or two. Anyways, that was mean. Great day of football. I'm glad we didn't have to watch Jared Goff. I'm like, I've like kind of turned the tide on Jared Goff a little bit. I'm like really annoyed that the Lions lost that game. I'm really annoyed. That was just a piss poor outing from the Lions. But yeah, Packers also don't look that strong. But yeah, so so let me do this. If I'm a 49ers fan, obviously you're thrilled, right? Obviously you have like Brock Purdy having his great night. Christian McCaffrey is, you know, this is probably the last time we're going to get 100% out of McCaffrey, I think. You can definitely tell the tread on his tires. Like I've mentioned a few times, he was definitely very gassed by the end of that game. And they're using the hell out of him. The usage-wise, he's right up there with Saquon of last year. Okay, so Christian McCaffrey is getting the work in his age 29 season. I'd imagine that usage and or just overall athletic ability to go down next year. But this is the offense clicking. This is the Niners offense. Mind you, without George Kittle, Jake Tonjes was able to step up. Jake Tonjes is having like a pretty good season, all things considered. Being the tight end 2 for a lot of the year, I mean, look at this. Not as impressive as I would have hoped. 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jake Tonjes. 4 touchdowns, though, for the tight end 2 is not bad. It's not bad. I feel like he's everywhere when I'm watching the Niners play. He's not beating anyone. Currently injured Patrick Mahomes. I think I could get him. I could get Phil, too. Goff runs so awkwardly, he strides so much. You're not even hitting 4 in the 40-yard dash. It's way harder than it looks. I tried it when I was 13. I ran like a 5.4. That's what I mean. I remember doing that too, but then again, I'm assuming Jared Goff would run like somewhere in like exactly like the 5.4 at this point. Like I think Jared Goff would easily go over 5. Jared Goff of today. So yeah, Jared Goff out of the draft, maybe not. Jared Goff today, yeah, I think so. But yeah, fellas. So if I'm a Niners fan, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. This is a team clicking on all axles, and I really, honestly, the NFC is wide open. The league is wide open. After the Niners lost to the Chiefs 2 years ago in the Super Bowl, I thought, man, the Super Bowl window is closed. They'll never have a route like this to the Super Bowl. It's closed. It's over. Done. Niners should just give up. And yet, they paid Brock Purdy, and they're still kicking. They've got a shot at the #1 seed. They've got a path to the Super Bowl, which is in San Fran. Okay, so they definitely, Niners fans everywhere rejoice. And they're an annoying bunch. I'm not going to act like they're not. But Niners fans, party. Bears fans. If I'm a Bears fan, it hurts. It hurts to lose this one. You kind of needed this win. This would have really solidified the Bears as big ballers in the NFC. However, they played a good game. And without Rome Odunze, which again, he's kind of been a non-factor overall, and not the strongest defensive outing. They did get that pick 6, but you are encouraged by Caleb Williams' progression. No, he doesn't play perfect. He's still a raw prospect, but you can see the improvement. You can see the steps up he's making. He's making the right reads. He's getting more comfortable with the NFL's pace. The problem is he's not making all the throws yet. And I don't think it's a skill issue. I think it's an experience issue. And the funny thing with Caleb is he was such a great prospect. And the ironic part about great prospects is I feel like we're kind of used to great prospects failing at a rapid rate. Trevor Lawrence, we were all ready to give up on him. Okay. Caleb Williams, he didn't look great last year. A lot of number one picks have just not worked. High picks in general have not always been a great bet. Bryce Young, he was a number one pick. He didn't look amazing. Cam Ward hasn't looked like incredible this year. Okay. You keep going down the list. Joe Burrow's been great, obviously. But in general, the number one pick hasn't really yielded great quarterbacks lately. Other than Matt Stafford, none of the top guys in my hill were number one picks besides CJ Stroud and I guess Jared Goff for now. But what I'm saying is we tend to jump the gun a lot with quarterbacks. I've said that a million times. But with Caleb Williams in particular, he's just kind of easier to dislike. You know what I mean? He wears that arrogance. He's just confident, And it's easy to rip on a guy that's, a little overtly confident, a guy that's probably a little closer to arrogance than you'd like. You know what I mean? And I'm not even a Caleb Williams hater, but I can recognize why people don't like him. Okay. After I watched Hard Knocks, I was way out on the guy. I said it. He was like, he's checking his phone in the team meeting room. He's not giving Matt Eberflus any respect. You can tell he's responding well to Ben Johnson's system. So what I'll say about Caleb Williams is he's still an unfinished product. He's still developing, but that's fine. If he takes the next step next year, he'll be a bona fide elite, top 5 quarterback. And then the Bears just have him for the foreseeable future. I don't know if Caleb's going to hit 4,000, but man, he's got to be close. 3,400. I don't know if that includes tonight's game. It might. It very well might. But yeah. So he probably won't, unless he throws for 600 yards in the last game. Again, I feel like that's not including tonight, but I could be wrong. How's he done the last few games? 186, 246, 250. Yeah, I don't think. Oh, wait, never mind. 330, 250. Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's not all passing yards. We'll see. He might not hit 4,000 this year, but you're definitely encouraged to see that growth. So again, the Bears put up a fight. And the good news with the Bears is I clicked on the wrong thing. The good news with the Bears is they're still at the top of the NFC. They're still the 2 seed. It's like, the Packers lost, the Lions lost, the Vikings won, which again, Vikings are a spot out of the playoffs, which, okay, if you say so. That's a bit of a crazy stat. I cannot believe the Vikings have a shot at going over 500. The 9 Vikings. And we were talking about firing Kevin O'Connell. Keeping it real 24/7. Dub City. There you go. There you go. Niner up. Niner fans deserve it. They're a fun bunch. But hey, this is a great game. A great conversation with a Niners fan this weekend who said he loves Brock Purdy, and I didn't get it. I just assume all Niners fans are just, kind of just lying, acting like they do like Brock Purdy when they don't. Holy yap, seriously. Am I talking too long? Nah, fuck, this is my stream. What am I talking about? Jarv trying to summon Gale. Stroud was not a number 1 pick. Wasn't Stroud number 2? Yeah, exactly. High pick, though. Caleb more likable than Trevor IMO. Bears have a lower point differential than the Chiefs. Yeah, no, they do. Believe me, the Bears have gotten away with some easy ones. The Bears might take a step back next year as a team, but I think Caleb Williams is progressing. Niner fans were hating on Shanahan so much last year. Yeah, that's what I mean. Fire the coach. Always blame the coach. Lamar can still move. He just doesn't want to anymore. He's trying to prove that he can move with his arm, which is dumb. Niners not doing shit this year. It's just an overall down year in the NFL. Yeah, Jarv was going to stand on this take. Dub City, horrible defense. For the Bears or the Niners? Probably both, honestly. 9-8 Vikings incoming. There you go. Patrick Mahomes winning the Super Bowl in his second year, paired with today's microwave mentality. There isn't any patience to develop a quarterback anymore. Yeah, exactly. Agreed. And we've talked about it a million times. People overreact with quarterbacks. We try and let them sit. But what I'm saying is I'm excited about Caleb Williams' projection. I'm excited about his future. All right. That's kind of all I can say about this one. Although I, again, had a lot of fun with it. I spent as much time talking about this game, more or less, as I did about all 3 Christmas games. So, hey, how do you like that? Yeah. What else happened? I'm trying to think. It just felt like a lot of just like funny moments happened. I talked about the 12 men on the field. And this is the thing. I hope Luther Burden's okay. He was a little shaken up at the end of the game. Yeah, grabbing his left hamstring on the way to of the X-ray room after the game. It was the last play of the game. He's grabbing his hamstring, by the way. Obviously, him getting injured is not cool or anything like that. However, it does go to show. I think both teams played it their absolute hearts out, and not to sound all sappy, but it's the truth. It feels like both teams gave the absolute maximum effort, and it showed all the way through. And sometimes, man, It's all you want to see. I'm a Giants fan. The bar's low. Effort is enough. Effort is enough. Broncos and the Jags are 13-3. We're not going to say it's a down year. Look, I hate Denver. I do. And they're brutal to watch, but I like the Jags, man. The Jags are frisky. The Jags are fun. Like, down year, like, what is a down year? What, because it goes away from the status quo? What, because Super Bowl windows have been closed? Look, I don't love watching Denver, but the Texans are a fun defense. The Chargers are finding ways to win games. Like, the Bills are the 7 seed. The Buffalo Bills, man. I liked watching the Jags. Did I miss anyone? I mean, I skipped over the Steelers. Steelers and Broncos are kind of hit or a miss. And I can't believe I just said something nice about the Chargers. But it's true. These are all pretty good teams. Like, these could all, like, you know, like, we'll have 12-win teams in the wild card. I wouldn't call that a down year. And then you look at the NFC, which I'd argue is much stronger. And you have a Seahawks team that could get bounced in the first round. They could win the Super Bowl. A Bears team that clearly I love watching. The Bears team that has been a part of some thriller games. Whether it's a high point differential or not, beating the Raiders and Commanders by 1 is not great. And that Cincy game, what a nail biter. Eked by the Giants, barely beat the Vikings, squeaked by the Steelers, got the Bears, came back against the Packers 2 weeks ago. They're winning close games, but isn't that fun? I don't know. I was against the Commanders last year, and in this offseason, I felt kind of gross about it because I didn't really get to enjoy the magical season the Manders had last year because I was just crossing my arms like, I don't like it. Nah, it's not replicable. No, they're not even good. They're just getting lucky. And then I ended up being right in the NFC Championship game. And you know what I got? Nothing. I got nothing for being right. Sometimes it's better to just sit and enjoy the football games than actually be accurate as a take analyst. Sports fans have such huge egos, and I can recognize that as a sports fan. But at this point, the Giants suck. I'm here to watch good football. I'm rooting for the best game possible. And tonight, we got the best game possible. That shows I posted in the Discord a month ago his age so well. Check it. All right, will do. Niners rode CMC all night. That dude was gas. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We have discussed. I'll root for the Jags. I'll never root for Denver. Same. We all want a Panthers-Jags Super Bowl. We all want it. We all want it. No one wants to see Broncos-Jags in the playoffs except Gale. Why does everyone hate the Jags? They're fun. Now really need to use B-Rob more in the first half. They have to rely on their other players in the fourth because CMT's tired. What's up, Aiden? Yeah, man, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't know why they don't do that more. Like Brian Robinson and then, I was going to say Garendo. But, you know, like, I completely agree. They definitely should spread the ball out a little more within that running back room. But I think BR got a few carries. He did, right? He got like 3 or 4 carries. I don't know why I'm going back like this. Yeah, 4 carries. You probably would have liked to see a little bit more, but the Niners kind of needed to win this game. Not needed, but it really does help. This is a season-making win. All they got to do is beat Sam Darnold, which I'm giving Sam his respect. He's high on this list, but all they got to do is beat Sam Darnold. And they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. Maybe the number 1 seed in the NFL. Not that that matters. But I want to pull up this tier list. But yeah, what's up if you're just stopping by? We're talking about Niners, Bears, among other things. This is the Hunnaball stream where we stream after every primetime game. It seems like we got a couple new people in here. So what's up, fellas? I have no idea what channel you put in, Otis. So just resend it, man. I redid the Discord. I didn't like the Jags for a while because T-Law looks like a lesbian. Exactly. All these stupid agendas we hold on to as sports fans. I don't like how T-Law looks. It's like, what? What? Oh, man. This is me preparing for Jackson Dart. Maybe all this cute mobile QB glaze and it's just me getting ready for Jackson Dart season. That's a wild take. CMC's carried me to the championship. Yeah, man. Exactly. And how could he not? He's been a workhorse in fantasy football this year. CMC beat me tonight in fantasy, which, by the way, if anyone's wondering, I got completely whooped. I got completely wiped in fantasy. Get a load of this. I lost by 60 or 50. I lost by 50 points, man, in the fantasy championship, and I was pissed. Call me load management. Look at this, because I had Rashee Rice out, Roma Dunze out, Brock Bowers, who's not on the team, IR out. Come on, man. I got completely screwed. But yeah, fellas, now is no time to have a pity party. Now is the time to celebrate good football. But yeah, so now we look forward to the playoffs. With a schedule in mind, what seeding is left to be changed? Okay. The number 1 seed is very much still up for grabs. Not by Chicago anymore, which is a bummer, but it is what it is. But So you have the Niners and the Seahawks playing for the #1 seed. You got Greg. What's up with that last team that beat you? Peanut butter's wild. I'm glad you're here, Greg. Drop a like. But yeah, so the Bears can no longer get the #1 seed. So it is a 2-horse race at this point between the Niners and the Seahawks. Winner gets the #1 seed. What a story. What else could you ask for, right? You have the Bears, who could go anywhere from the 2 to the 3 seed. Same goes for the Eagles, and that just once again determines seeding and who they play. Niners and Rams. If the Rams, I'm assuming, if the Rams win tomorrow, I guess the Rams are still in play for the #1 seed, right? I think if the Rams win out, and then if a certain sequence of things happens, I want to say if the Rams win out and the Seahawks lose, then the Rams will take the #1 seed. So it's good. Obviously, it's going to be an NFC West team. But it all depends on tomorrow and next Sunday. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But the point is, Rams, Niners, Seahawks could really be anywhere. Packers are locked in at that 7 seed. And everything else is about chalk, other than the NFC South, which again could go to the red hot Panthers or the flaming hot Buccaneers. Man, they're both great. Both fun teams to watch. Tampa's lost, I want to say, maybe 8 straight. I could have misread that. Not 8 straight, but they've been pretty bad over the last 10 games or so. They've been 2-8. That's what it was. They were 2-8 over the last 10 games. No, Rams are pretty much cooked on the #1 seed. Really? Okay, so the Rams are done? All right. So this win buried them. I see. Okay, I wasn't sure. Tiebreakers are always so confusing. So the Rams are locked into that wild card spot then. And it's up to the Niners now to step up. Posted tier list. All right, let's see. Let's see. I'm looking. Here we go. Made this masterpiece December 1st. All right. I'm just going to download it and replace it real quick. Oh, I realized I already had it saved, but whatever. This was Otis's Hill. Which, again, you can always submit yours. This is Otis's Hill, where he had Kenny Pickett, Jameson, Mitch at the top. Drake May, Mariota, Dak, Sam Darnold, not bad. Caleb Williams up there high. You know, I'm not going to be mad at Dart. Again, I don't know if this aged, like, perfectly. Okay, but look, I mean, you got Tyler Shuck, good and high. You got Cam Ward up there, Jay Hurts. This is not a bad list. Did you hinge update yet? I did not hinge update yet, which is hilarious. We got Muhammad here. What's up? Everyone's between the Niners, Seahawks gets the #1 seed. All right. Well, there you go. There you go. So a lot of crazy stuff on the table in the NFL space. I couldn't decide between space and sphere, so I just went with both. And then I think the only thing left here, do the Jags have a path to the #1 seed? I want to assume they do, right? Because their strength of schedule would kick them over the top. I think if the Jags win and the Broncos and Patriots both lose, which likely won't happen, but it is possible, they would take that #1 seed. Obviously, these 3 teams are duking it out for the top. There is also a scenario where the Jags, I want to say, don't win the division, or did they clinch today? Did the Jags clinch the division? I don't believe so. They just clinched a playoff berth, right? Yeah, Z is clinching the division. Yeah, they have not yet clinched the division, so they're going to hope to do that. I don't think they play the Texans. I wish. That would have been fun. I never thought I would have said I wish the Jags played the Texans, but here we are. Both good teams, both fun. You call me crazy for Lamar and Goff low. He said it was a joke of a tier list. I did not say it was a joke of a tier list. I would never say that, but Lamar and Goff being low is fair. You're ahead of the curve. May have still been a little overreactionary, but solid. You had the right idea. But yeah, so now we're just sitting here kind of workshopping what's going to happen next week. I'm glad, once again, if you missed it, the schedule for next week has come out already. The NFL dropped it the second this game ended. Okay, they had it ready. Okay, so we have Saturday Night Football. There's no Thursday game. We got Saturday Night Football, and then we got the rest of the games on Sunday. The primetime ones to look out for are Seahawks, Niners, obviously, and then Steelers, Ravens. Forgot to talk about Steelers, Ravens. That division could go either way. 2 thumbs down for me. Both teams look bad, but whatever. Lo, what is this channel? Mev or Purdy? You were wrong. You've been deathly wrong for a long while. All right. Here are the Niner fans. All right. What's up, man? Hey, look, I said I was wrong. This is not, first of all, this is not the tier list, but this is a different tier list. This is a completely separate one. Let me pull up mine. See what you did, Otis? You got me in trouble here. Again, but again, I don't have Brock Purdy much higher. So again, this isn't exactly solving our issue. As you can see, I got Brock Purdy nose ball. He's ahead of Tyler Shuck. Come on. Like, what are we talking about? Drop a like, Eric Cred. Come on. Like, or Eric Red, that's what it is. This is the quest for 6. I said Purdy knows ball. Same level as Tyler Shuck. Hail Mary worked. Biggest update for me. Locked in. Yeah, Stoner Cat's making his shots. Who do you think the sleeper teams are for the playoffs? That's the funny thing about this year's NFL. It feels like everybody's got a knock on every team. And Jarv says that makes the NFL season worse. I think it makes it better. Look, there is no perfect football team. And the fact that there's so much parity, such a wide gap, such a wide group of teams at the top, anything could happen. So it's tough to call a sleeper team. I think it's just picking who you think's going to win. I will say, I don't think it's a hot take, but I do really like how the Texans have looked the last couple months, or last month, I should say. The last month, the AFC South in general, Jags and Texans have looked really sharp. Obviously, the Patriots look good today. But what inspires me is, and that's such a funny word to use here, but what inspires me is, and I think that's why I love tonight's game so much, it's because it's two good teams like playing each other at their absolute top. A lot of what the season has felt like, it's felt like really good teams catching teams on their worst days. The Giants especially, but good teams catching bad teams or mediocre teams on their worst day and just winning because of it. It's felt like a lot of luck's been involved. Not exactly in-game luck, but just kind of where teams are at in their seasons, right? So that's kind of been the thing. So we have two really great teams duking it out. That's what I want to see. There's no excuses. You can't say, oh, well, they didn't beat anyone good. No, man. They both went toe-to-toe with each other, and the best team made it out of the ashes. That was a bit aggressive. I apologize, but come on. Man, it's all good. It's all good. This is we got an open mind around here. Brock Purdy's the first quarterback to have back-to-back 5 touchdowns games since 2003. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm giving Brock Purdy his credit. I'm giving him his respect. You did say, and I quote, Shuck over Lamar and Goff, sorry for not taking this serious as a joke tier list, and I became a syndrome from The Incredibles. All right, maybe I did say that. If you got me on a direct quote, that does sound like something I would say. Sorry. Gotta fix the hair. Very important. Nailed it. This playoff's gonna be crazy, man. Let's see some good ball. You can never say Jarvis. You could say Jarvis a masturbator. Biggest game of rock, paper, scissors with like 12 teams. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it. In all seriousness, Purdy is off the charts efficient compared to all QBs. Never mind the low-hanging stats. Yeah, he is efficient. I think the counter argument to that is it's all scheming and coaching. But honestly, right now, tonight, I don't care. Talked about it earlier, but I said if I'm a Niners fan, I'm thrilled. Brock Purdy proved the doubters wrong. And we can't say anything. And I said we. I've been a Brock Purdy doubter since he came, since he became the starting quarterback for the Niners. I was doubting it. I said, this is not going to work. This sucks. I hate it. They need a good quarterback. They need a guy who's got talent and ability, a guy with a strong arm, a guy that's a highly touted draft prospect, like a Caleb Williams. And guess what? Brock Purdy beat Caleb Williams. This was just a statement win. Brock Purdy got jiggy with it. You could tell he was having fun out there. And that's when I realized we don't have to always attach Brock Purdy's last pick of the draft title to him. At a certain point, Tom Brady stopped being the 6th round steal and he just became Tom Brady. And I don't want to say that happened tonight with Brock Purdy, but I'm starting to see him get there to where it's not, oh, he's playing great for Mr. Irrelevant, or oh, he's playing better than I thought he would because the Niners paid him a lot of money. It's like, no, he's Brock Purdy and he's a good quarterback. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm overreacting. The Bills won today. I think they could have the Eagles number, but they had that anticlimactic 2-point attempt. And they just wasted a lot of their time. Was their flaw. That's the thing. The Bills were like inches away. At the same time, though, they had a lot of other chances. They didn't score for the first 3 quarters. So you can't really point fingers and say, oh, we got unlucky when you don't score for 3 quarters against the defending Super Bowl champs at home. Who needs their first pick when you can have the last pick? Yeah, exactly. That's the irony of it. All this quarterback talk, all these narratives clashed tonight, and the Niners came out victorious. No Williams, no Kittle. That's another thing. Trent Williams stepped out. Can't believe he's still playing at a high level, but he is. And I think Trent Williams will be okay from what I saw. I want to verify that, actually. This song is killing me. There it is. But I want to see the Trent Williams update. Upton Stout was out with a concussion. You'd like to see him back. Again, I don't know what the hamstring injury looks like, but you don't want to assume hamstring is the end of the world, right? He was injured on the first offensive play, which was a pick 6, by the way. But yeah, I'm gonna assume Hamstring's not that serious for their stud left tackle. He might not suit up next week, but he'll probably be good to go for the playoffs. Again, that's just me guessing. But yeah, no Trent Williams. That double defend juke pass to Juice was otherworldly. Had it been Mahomes or Allen, there would be a shrine built. No, agreed. That's Collinsworth beat you to the punch. He said, looked very Mahomey, and the internet's going to flame me for that. I love memes. That's something Chris Collinsworth said tonight. Josh Allen is the best anti-clutch QB out there, IMO. That's funny. I mean, it feels like it, but it did come out that the Bills have 5 come from behind wins in the fourth quarter this year. Only second to the Bears, who have 6. And funny thing about the Bears is that's an NFL record. You can say this is a bad season if you want. I think that's pretty cool. 6 7-point deficits that they came back from in the fourth quarter. Chicago Bears, NFL record setters with 1 game left. So really, Purdy had 6 touchdowns. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He threw a pick 6, so in reality, he had 6 scoring plays. But yeah, so this was a great game. This was a great game from Purdy, and you're completely right. Eric Red 8124, which I'm assuming is a Kobe number sequence, but I could be wrong there. Or did Kobe drop 82? Never mind. I could be wrong on that. I just like a lot of people I know have their bank pins, some sequence of 24, 8, and then, you know, something else, some Kobe numbers, because it's just sick. Are the Niners done cheating yet? Here comes John with the the traditional football take, the old school stubborn Brock Purdy's a system quarterback take. But you know what? I'm with it. We got opinions from every kind of football fan in here. Welcome to the Hunnaball stream. If you're new, drop a like. But yeah, so Jado5, it feels like Josh Allen is anti-clutch, but at the end of the day, he's been winning games this year. But you would have liked to see him make that last pass. 6-7. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. I had to stop myself. But yes, I've never seen so much illegal motion in my life. There were a few of those, I will say. Okay, John loves Purdy. I hate Kyle. There it is. The curveball, left, right, and center. No, I love Brock Purdy. I hate Kyle. Oh, man. But I'm with you, though. There were a couple plays where use check wasn't set, and they just snapped it anyway, and I didn't see a flag called. It felt like some of the penalties weren't ticky-tack, but it felt a little timing-based, where the refs kind of wanted to keep this game going. But I don't want to over-talk about officiating. I'm sure some fans are already discussing it. I want to see Raina's reaction to this game. I want to see Raina. I want to see the Great Levi channel, but I got a feeling Bears fans aren't tuning in tonight. I think Bears fans just want to go to bed and move on. Yes, I'm a Niners fan since attending Dolphins Niners Super Bowl in Stanford, and fair enough to call me out. Fair enough. Hey man, we got some longtime football fans in here. We got John, who apparently remembers Giants coaches from the '60s. Couldn't believe that. He's like, Hunter, you don't know ball. The Giants coach in the 60s was booed out of the building. I hadn't heard of the guy, to be honest with you. So yeah, Niners Dolphins Super Bowl though. That was, geez, that was Marino, man. That was probably a hell of a game. Jeez, love it. Every time they mentioned motion Ricky behind the stack, he was moving forward at the snap. Yeah. I felt like I saw that a lot. I'm agreeing with you by default. I didn't take note of that, but it did feel like once they had that bunch set, they just kind of did whatever they wanted. That being said, the Bears also they didn't do anything wrong, but it felt like a very, I don't know, how do you put it? This is probably the wrong term, but it felt like an abstract kind of day for play calling. A lot of wonky stuff, hook and ladders, all kinds of motions, zone beaters. It felt like I was watching two teams play Madden, honestly. That's what it felt like. 42-38, not just because of the high scoring, but because of the scheming, because of the intention behind it. It was like the offenses knew what the defense was calling before the play was off. And that's funny because you wouldn't expect that from a Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy game. Shanahan's always had an overusage problem with CMC, and it pisses me off. He play calls like Kittle isn't a top 10 receiving tight end right now. And how good he is as a run blocker, but come on, he's too dominant for that amount of targets. For sure. For sure. Shanahan does not think long term. Shanahan wants a Super Bowl, and I can't blame him. Just from a human perspective. If I was the offensive coordinator watching 28-3, man, I would want a Super Bowl and nothing else. I would coach until I die. I'm sorry, I cannot get my hair right. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me up the wall. All right, there it is. There it is. Now I feel like Bryce Hall. All right. I wasn't expecting Raina, but I was hoping to see her legit, though, regardless of the loss. Give Caleb some flowers as a rival fan. Goddamn ball. Agreed. Use check with motion of fullback, turn around, start moving forward to the snap in the direction and run. The refs didn't see it. A few times. I saw it more with use check than anyone else. Not as much with Pearsall, but I agree. My light died. Damn it. Is it worth getting a... I don't like how this looks. I'm gonna get the wire. But yeah. Niner fans, stand up. And you know what? Said it earlier and I'll say it again.